Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? Let's talk Inter Miami. More Messi. We've got a lot of Messi to talk about because we're going to have him for 3 years. So let's have some fun with that tonight. Tonight might be a little bit short, just so let's everybody get in, get active, and the show will go as long as you guys want to push it. I'm flying solo today because Ed is on vacation in Ecuador. So he's hanging out in Ecuador, enjoying his time, I'm assuming, with some family and things like that. So we'll keep this probably a little shorter than usual tonight. But let's have some fun talking Inter Miami and get active in the chat. But before we get to that, let's say thank you to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. Caneswear is located in Davie, Florida, just south of 595 on University Drive. They have the messiest wall in all of South Florida. So go get your Messi gear and all your Inter Miami gear at Caneswear. Support a local business. Don't go to the other stores. Go to the local store. If that's too far for you to drive, go to caneswear.com. All orders over $99 ship for free. All right. And I don't even know where it is anymore. Maybe down here. If you want to leave a voicemail, call 786-474-4435. Whenever I do these shows solo, it throws me off. It throws me off when Ed's not here. So I'm a little thrown off, but we'll go with the flow. All right, I see some people popping in here. First person I see in the chat was One World, One Goal. Ash Preetam is here as well. Oh, yeah, Mr. Krabs said the Dolphins won. I heard that Tua threw 3 or 4 touchdowns? I didn't watch. I went out shopping with a wife instead. Buying presents for my daughter's 21st birthday. My daughter is going to be 21 tomorrow. It's crazy. Getting old, folks. Getting old. Ricardo is here as well. Great game. And Francisco Garcia is here as well. How's everybody doing tonight? So let's I guess start with the game. I mean, all of us I'm sure are excited the way, I talked about a little bit in the last show, like who was going to be the coach, I guess, that learned the most from the last game. I had a feeling it might be B.J. Callahan, the coach for Nashville. I thought he might make adjustments to make it more difficult for Inter Miami. That wasn't quite the case. Sometimes you just can't make adjustments to overcome Messi. At the end of the day, sometimes that's the situation, right? You can't get over the thing that is Messi, the magic that he might bring, right? So. But I am surprised. I'm surprised that it wasn't more difficult for Miami to break through on Nashville. So just curious your thoughts in the chat. Defense looked better, right? Rodrigo De Paul played better. I'm always complaining about him. Here's the thing: is we keep saying still don't think he's worth $17 million, but whatever. He had a better game. Busquets, I thought, was pretty poor, but Allen had a couple mistakes as well. But I think overall, defense looked better. I'm not sure your thoughts on that stuff. Louis Rodriguez is checking in as well, and he's mentioning that the Philly and Chicago are playing right now. And the score for Philly and Chicago currently is 0-0. It was a strange thing that there were no playoff games on Saturday. I don't know if anybody knows in the chat what the reason was for that. I don't get it. It can't be the fact that they don't want to compete against college football. That's stupid because they're competing against the NFL right now. There is always a Sunday night game, so I don't know why they didn't schedule anything on a Saturday. It just seems odd to me. But currently the 51st minute in the Philadelphia-Chicago game, 0-0. My money on that is Chicago. Now, I don't even know about this game in particular, but I mean the series. I think Chicago might surprise. I think Chicago might surprise. So LM10 Deditz is here as well. Welcome. And yes, One World. I see you left a voicemail. We will get to that early tonight because, as you guys know, when I'm flying solo, I can only talk to myself for so long. So I definitely want to hear you guys. So get active in the chat and also leave voicemails. But what an exciting game that was. But the struggle, I don't know, the issue I saw was that the crowd wasn't there. It was kind of a surprise. I mean, Friday night, I get it. But when you have someone like Messi, you figure you're packing the stadium. The Messi thing could start getting old. Is that weird to say? But people might, when the prices are expensive. Just as an example, somebody in the game day vlog that I posted, somebody had asked a question about parking, and they had said, "Hey, I heard it's $50 to park there. Is that correct?" And I said, "Yes." And that's crazy, right? And the tickets, I'm sure, were pricey. I mean, I got them at slightly discounted rate, just that I'm a season ticket holder. I don't know what they were going for if you were to buy an individual ticket, but there were plenty of open seats in that stadium. There were definitely plenty of them. Louis Rodriguez mentioned, I was trying to put that in a place where it wouldn't interrupt. There we go. Defensive still shaky, but managed to maintain a good score. Overall, I think the defense played better. Shaky, I think, was Noah Allen. I mean, I'm a big fan of Noah Allen. I'm not saying he's perfect. I see some people online hate him, but I just think he is the most improved player on this team. Coming from where he came from, I'm happy. I like when I see him, but he was definitely a weak link, I think, in that game. So, this is possible, One World. Talking about the tickets. How many tickets they bought from out of town for resale but didn't sell, so they were stuck. That's always a possibility that people bought tickets. I don't know if the game was classified as a sellout based on tickets distributed. Possibly. I don't know. Again, I rarely go in to see what tickets are available on sale. But that is definitely a possibility. Look, in the entire history of Inter Miami, I think I've sold my seats once for sure, maybe twice in the 5 seasons, whatever it is. I think I've only done it a couple times because I was going to be out of town or something like that. And I had to watch it. And eventually I lowered the price at the game day. And I think one of them I might have lost money and the other I broke even. And these were Messi era games too. Louis says, playing Nashville in their home territory, Miami have to maintain a solid defense. I think the man of the match, as far as defense goes, was Falcone. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but me and my wife were big Falcone fans. I mean, I think he had a great game. So I think the defense is holding strong there. I see some Neymar questions. Let's go to the voicemail, and then we'll talk some Neymar if you want. Talk MSN. Let's play a little voicemail here. Here we go.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans. It's Italian One World Uncle, and shout out to Yankee Boy for calling in. It was such a great guy. Glad we've all kept in touch all these years. And Uncle Ted from God knows where, could be Coconut Hollywood Creek, Florida, not sure. And what a picture. Oh my gosh, did you see how they revealed Messi signed again? Really not a big surprise, but it's surprising he signed for 3 years. Dude's going to keep going. But don't forget, I saw Valderrama playing with my Diego Serna number 17. And he had to be, I swear to you, he had to be like, I don't know, 55 years old, right? And the guy was, or maybe he was, I don't know, somewhere in there. The guy was still putting those pinpoint precision passes like he was 25 years old, and he played in MLS until like 45. I mean, when he was with the Fusion, he was already older. So anywho, I'm talking about Valderrama. So anyway, exciting that they took those stadium pictures that you put on your little thumbnail there. Great job, as always. Love the stadium update. Everybody tune in. I love your, what do you call it? The vlogs, the game logs. Those are great. So you guys are like the best content ever, but of course you're the OGs. And shout out to Messi for not only signing, but having a diving header from somebody who's like vertically challenged or whatever you call it. Dude is not real tall, but to get that diving header, amazing. And they always play well in front of Beckham, including the other player, their number 10 that did a bend it like Beckham in the very last second in front of Beckham, no less. But anyway, we're looking good. I got faith. Everything seems to be great momentum. Love you guys. Love the show. Peace out.
So when Carlos Valderrama played for the Miami Fusion, he was 36. He felt older. It felt like he was 45, but he was only 36. And the funny thing is, this whole thing, she didn't. One World, One Goal didn't mention this, but Valderrama walked the field like nobody. I mean, he barely ran and got mad at players if they didn't pass the ball directly to his feet. I remember so many times him waving his hands going like this, to my feet, right? So seeing somebody walk around the Lockhart pitch, because I still consider Chase kind of that Lockhart pitch, it's nothing new, right? So Messi is following in the footsteps of the walking path of Valderrama, if you will. So yeah. Touch on a little bit, because we did talk about this more Messi, and we'll get to Neymar later. 3 more years. Okay, so we all pretty much knew that Messi would re-sign his contract. It was kind of, it was obvious. But until pen to paper, you're still always a little bit nervous. You can never know for sure until he puts pen to paper. And what a video that they put together. How cinematic was that? I thought that was so impressive and so well done. I loved it. I mean, I eat that stuff up, and especially being inside the stadium, I'm freeze framing it because I'm a stadium nerd. I love that kind of stuff. I guess being a stadium nerd, I think it's probably because I studied architecture a little bit. My mom wanted me to be an architect, but I didn't like math, so eventually I didn't do it. But I got into it. Right. So I really like watching theme parks being built, Disney, when they're building construction. I go and stare at all that stuff. I love that. So in that video with Messi, I'm sitting there breaking down, looking at the interior of the stadium, the parts that I can't go see when we do the construction videos. But 3 years, I was a bit surprised by 3 years. Obviously, each year is going to have an opt-out. That's a no-brainer. So if he's not feeling it after the 26 campaign, then maybe he retires or whatever. But I think you also got to realize a big part of him re-signing a 3-year contract is improving the Inter Miami brand. Remember, guys, I always talk about this club more as a t-shirt company, as a brand. It's more about being a brand, right, than anything else. They want to win games, but I think the most important part is the brand. And Messi knows that. I mean, of course he wants to win, obviously. But this is an investment, a long-term investment for him. And he knows if he signs pen to paper for 3 years, whether or not he plays the full 3 years, doesn't really matter. The value of Inter Miami goes up. It goes up from a 1.5 billion, something like that, potentially more once the stadium's opened. And he is going to be a future owner. We don't know the percentage yet. The rumors were somewhere in the 30% range, but then other people squawked at that, saying that's way too much. Who knows? Who knows what that final percentage of ownership he's going to get at the end of his career? But he's going to be an owner. So him improving the value by signing, he himself is improving his future investment. So, like Louis says, Messi takes Inter Miami to a whole different level. So speaking about that, my brother, a lot of you guys have seen my brother in some of the old game day vlogs. He used to live down here and would go to the games with us, and we would call him our lucky charm. Well, he's in Oklahoma. And actually, he went to see the FC Tulsa play last night, and they won against Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the USL Championship. I watched that game while they were watching. It was kind of fun. But anyways, he himself in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, was in the mall today. He sent me a picture of a store in the mall selling the blue Inter Miami jerseys, the Messi jersey, in the mall in Oklahoma. So Messi's everywhere. Takes it to a whole nother level for sure. But again, he's really improving his own business, the future business of Inter Miami. One World says Tulsa sounds fun. I don't know. So I've been to Tulsa once to visit my brother years ago, because he's been in and out of Tulsa because he was in the Marines and he was a recruiter in Tulsa, and that's how he ended up there and met a woman and all that, married, all that good stuff. But I went there once, and I didn't think there was really much there. It was but this was like 15 years ago. Oh no, geez, my daughter's 21 now. This was like 19 years ago, so it was a while ago. But I'm watching a show on Hulu called The Lowdown. It's got a famous actor in it. I can't remember his name right now. It's pretty good. It takes place in Oklahoma, and they say a line in that movie, that's in that TV series, that basically says Oklahoma, or Tulsa in particular, is like the most dangerous place in this country. I don't know. I asked my brother that, and he goes, "Well, North Tulsa is not that great." So, but yeah, Kata is here and says Oklahoma, middle of nowhere, good old Messi. Yep, even in Oklahoma, they're wearing pink. Well, they wore the blue jersey. They're selling the blue jersey. Pink might be a little too far for people in Oklahoma. Just might be going one step too far. But I don't know. I it's exciting to see that Messi has signed. Now you got to wonder. There's already rumors out there that Suarez will be re-signed. So we've got the M, we've got the S. Are we gonna get the N? Is the question. We talked about this some previous weeks. I don't know if we touched on it last week, but maybe the week before. Ash Preetam had mentioned earlier, with Neymar here next season, will there be Brazilian food trucks? Well, you're presuming that the Neymar deal is done. I did hear rumors that Santos doesn't want to sign him, and there's not a lot of interest for him in Europe. So, we might be the place for him to go. I don't know. There's obviously nothing official, a lot of rumors. I still think, Kata, we don't need that N. Okay, I get it. And there's a rumor of Lewandowski or whatever coming. You obviously can't have both. It's one or the other, right? DP. I don't think, if there's any way possible to get Neymar here, whether you want him here or not, whether you agree with it or not, I think this ownership group will do whatever it needs to do to make that happen. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think they're going to put in a very good effort to make that happen. They want that marketing. They want that MSN. And I know a lot of people will say better marketing is winning championships. It helps. It's part of it, because if we don't win a championship, then this whole thing is considered a failure, right? But I mean, Neymar, it's a big name. It's going to sell a ton of jerseys. It's a genius marketing move to bring him in. Ricardo, well, this guy, I don't think this is going to happen. Vinny is not happy in Madrid. If you want a Brazilian, yeah, he's not ready to come to MLS. So it'd be great if we could get him. And Sergio is saying we don't need Neymar from a marketing standpoint. I'm not saying you need him, but remember, Friday night game just happened. A lot of empty seats. You add Neymar into the mix, those seats are filled. Could there be a slight bit of Messi fatigue in that people, this even happens to me and my wife. Once in a while, you get so used to seeing the player, Messi, you get so used to seeing some great players every single week because we go to every game, right? So you get used to seeing them every single week. And you sometimes forget to sit back and appreciate greatness, right? And sometimes it takes, for us at least, sometimes it takes us watching other people to go, wow, we need to really appreciate what we have. Forget about the fact that he's walking. Forget about the fact that he made a bad pass. Forget about that, we think he should score every time he touches the ball, right? Sometimes you just take it for granted. It's just natural. I think it's human nature. But when you see some kids freaking out because they're seeing Messi for the first time, it really does, bring it to your attention. But so there's a lot of people that appreciate him. But I think the people that maybe go every single week, they're like, well, it's no big deal. I saw him last week. I don't need to go to this game on Friday night because it's inconvenient. It's Friday night. I'm working. I got a long drive. I'm coming from Miami. I'm coming from Kendall. I'm coming from Jupiter. Wherever you're coming from, it's a long way. It's inconvenient. It's a Friday. It's a Wednesday night game, for example, right? People potentially could be, also the price, right? The Messi tax that we're all paying, right? So you add in all I'm saying is you add in another player like Neymar, all of a sudden, I think those seats are filled. LM10 says, we need to win if we want more tickets sold. That's not always the answer. Yes, I want to win. But I think at the end of the day, this team, this ownership group cannot pass up that marketing opportunity for MSN 0.2, right? Version 2 of MSN. I don't think they could pass it up. I will be surprised. Look, it may not happen, but I would be surprised if they don't make a hard push for Neymar, offering him at least some sort of contract. Maybe it's less than what he feels like he needs. Kata saying, I was surprised, got my seat for $37 for playoffs after seeing many for $100. Kata, did you wait till the last minute to buy your ticket? Is that how you got it so cheap? Because that's a really good price. And where did you sit? Did you sit in the supporter section? Just curious. I think my seat, again, my seat was not part of my season ticket package. Uh-oh. Okay, I think we're back. I must have bumped the wire. Sorry. Here, One World said something about my microphone in the.
Hey, Peter, your microphone cut off, but it was funny because people were making really good jokes about you in there. So I hope you see this. Turn your mic down. Thanks.
All
Love
right,
you guys.
sorry.
Bye.
I think I got animated and I hit this wire. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't know how long was I talking without. How long were you guys making fun of me? Because I wasn't looking at the chat either. Haven't heard me for 10 minutes. It was off for that long. Oh man. Oh well. That's what happens when Ed's not here. That's what happens when Ed's not here because he would have said, "Hey dummy, turn on your mic." Thanks everybody. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know what you missed, but thanks for hanging in there, guys. I get animated and I last thing they heard was about the Brazilians in Pompano. I'm not going to try to recap everything I said because I don't know what I said. I just ramble on. Anyways, um, Pompano, Brazilians, they'll come. Bring in Neymar, they'll come. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Now you can hear me. Yeah, I should have looked down here because I could see the line moving, but I was focused on my rant. Whatever the heck I was saying, I was focused on my rant. Thank you, Roostam 999999. I appreciate you guys hanging in there through my issues. Um, Francisco says, my family used to have an apartment in Pompano. At night, we could see the lights of Lockhart Stadium. Wow. Yeah, Pompano is just down the street from me. I mean, I'm in Coconut Creek. Coconut Creek is just west of Pompano. So I'm right down the street from there. It's going to be a bit of a drive when going down to Miami and all that. But. Supreme Goat says, do you think Messi could reach 900 before year's end? He is currently at 891. Depends on how far we go in the playoffs. Now, I mean, the answer is yes. He's capable if we go far enough in the playoffs. And oh yeah, Mr. Krabs mentioned this earlier. Inter Miami won game one last year, and look what happened after. I'm still nervous. Me too. I'm still nervous as well. Um, you know, yeah. I think I said something about that in the game day vlog, just like, hey, but I was I was feeling good, right? So I'm like, hey, it's not going to happen like it did last year, right? I still, look, I think the reason we got ousted in the first round of the playoffs last year was Brad Guzan. Brad Guzan's done. He's retired. He's not playing. Pop, pop, pop. So no worries there. We've already now beaten Nashville twice. So, I feel pretty good. I think, the Saturday, the game, which is weird. It's weird. I find it weird that I thought that they would try to cram in the first round of the playoffs. I thought it would be like Friday night game, Wednesday night game, Saturday game. I thought that's the way it was going to go, but clearly it didn't. They're going Friday, Saturday, which they're spreading it out a bit. So I still feel pretty confident that we've beaten Nashville twice in a row. We've beat them more than they've beat us overall. Kata says, yeah. Kata says, in the vlog, there was a scuffle, and he laughed because my wife said Suarez was about to bite. I know. And did you notice my reaction? My reaction was like, what? It was like, what did you just say? She gets out of control during these games. My wife was so out of control in this last game that she had to apologize to the people next to us because she was getting a little wound up and they kind of gave her a look. Right. So she gets into it. She's either shopping on her phone, right? She's shopping on Amazon, but when she looks up, she's yelling and screaming and going crazy. Supreme mentions about that 891 again. I think he could score 9 more goals. I do too if we go far in the playoffs. I think it's possible if we go far in the playoffs. Obviously, I'm guessing you want him to break the record this year. I don't care. I just want us to win. I don't care if Messi scores the goals. I don't care if Suarez scores the goals or Allende or anybody else. I don't care who scores the goals. I'm not in this for the player. I know that pisses off some people. I'm in it for the team. I'm in it for the club. So I don't care if he scores 900 goals. but I care if we win. So if he gets assists, if he gets goals, I don't care. But like I mentioned in that game day vlog, the team goes as far as Messi can carry us. Because at the end of the day, it's been proven. He has to put this team in the back of his shoulders and carry us. Um, Abishik, I can't say your name. Jose2329. If Neymar does not play a single game, how would you even market him? I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. And listen, when I'm sitting here promoting saying I think they'll bring in Neymar, I'm not sitting here saying it's my number one choice either. But I think I kind of understand this ownership group, and I could be wrong, but I think I understand them, and I think it's about marketing. And yeah, you still can market Neymar. You could still market it and get your mileage out of Neymar. You want him to play, obviously, but and I know he's injured a lot. Uh, how many games did he play this year? I don't know. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. What else is in the chat? One goal says she loves my wife. She's awesome. My wife hates hearing her voice on the recordings. She hates it. Um, Kata's mentioning, good. I love that. Need more animated people at the stadium. Speaking of animated people, so it's near the end of the game. About 3, 4 rows in front of us, there was a young group of fans. Young meaning, you know, early 20s, something like that. So like 4 people, like a guy, his girl, another guy, his girl, something like that. And we're at the last few minutes of the game. We're probably in the stoppage time at this point. There was 11 minutes of stoppage time. These guys, this group of fans are standing. Now I sit on the east side in section 115. Most people do not stand except for during goals, right? But they're standing. Old man sitting right behind them. And he starts getting into it with them, complaining, telling them to sit down, telling them to chill out, to relax, to sit down. And they almost got into a little bit of a scuffle, speaking of scuffles, and so much so to where this old man's daughter, maybe, or granddaughter, I don't know, but younger, was like grabbing his arm, telling him, trying to get him to calm down. Because, and in a sense, I understand the old man, right? Because in that section, people don't generally stand. But at the same time, it's the last few minutes of the game. If they're in your way, just stand up too. It's the last few minutes of the game. It's not like this was the entire game. And even if it was, at the end of the day, you're at a sporting event. It happens. Deal with it. All right. But this old man was not having it. He was not happy. And, yeah, there was almost a bit of a scuffle. Luckily, the game ended before anything could really go down. And it would be bad if these young guys got into a fight with this old man because, it would have been really bad. But, um, just fans can get animated and sometimes they get pissed off. Ash is mentioning Neymar will be promoting various nightclubs and beverages. So something, it was funny because my wife said something about Neymar. She said something about him being fat. And I was like, no, 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 no. Neymar's not fat. Not yet. Not until he plays here. So, because there is like a history of like Brazilians coming to South Florida and just getting buck wild, right? And you don't want it to. I remember Ronaldo, right? Fat Ronaldo, that we would call him. He signed like a deal. He wasn't playing anymore, but he signed a deal with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers to help promote the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and he was supposed to go to certain events. He was supposed to actually go to the a Florida Panther game and throw out the first puck or however you call it. I know you don't know if you throw it out, you drop it, whatever you do, wearing a Strikers shirt. He didn't show up because he was at the Hard Rock. He was hanging out at the Hard Rock and he lost track of time. And yeah, Ronaldo killed the Strikers. he he, I think he might have put a little bit of money in the team, or at least his people did. And that was part of the Brazilian ownership group that definitely killed the strikers. They were not paying players. There were all kinds of problems. But just there is a history of Brazilians coming to South Florida and just really getting wild. The only one that I knew personally that really didn't was a player called Zinho. I don't know how many people remember him, but he was part of that '94 World Cup team, and he fell in love with the United States at that time. And eventually became a player for Miami FC, became a coach, and all that kind of stuff. I got to know him, but he had said at one point he was the first one in the Congo line and the last one to leave. And that's when he realized he needed to get his life straight. And he stayed in great shape, and he played into his early 40s, at a much lower level of and NASL type level. I don't know. I don't remember if we were NASL at that time. Probably not. Might have been still USL. But oh yeah, Mr. Krabs says he remembers Ronaldo getting involved with the strikers. Yeah. So you do have to worry about Neymar and say places like the Hard Rock. If he comes down here, gets caught up going to the Hard Rock, gets caught up going down to South Beach, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Could potentially Messi be a good influence on him? I don't know. I don't know. Supreme Goat mentions, yeah, I get it. Miami prioritizes marketing and stuff, but hopefully Beckham and the other guy wakes up. I mean, hopefully. Um, but sponsorships matter. Sponsorships are what get stadiums built, things like that. And big names like Messi, like Neymar, get sponsorships. Messi obviously gets you enough. You don't need any more when you have Messi, but you want more. You always want more. So, um, oh yeah, Mr. Krabs says, I'm a fan of Noah Allen. His dad used to come in this chat. Yes, he did. We haven't seen him in a long time. But I'm a fan of him. I look, even on this show, I've complained about Noah Allen at times. I am a fan of his though, for sure. He has improved. And that's why I always think of him as just like kind of he's that model of player you want to put out front and saying, this is what the academy can do. Because he has improved so much. When he first was being put out on the field, I didn't get it. I didn't think he was good enough. But they kept putting him out. Obviously, they saw something that I didn't. And they were right. 2-1. I see somebody in the chat says Chicago goal now 2-1. So 2-1. Philadelphia is winning 2. Chicago has 1. All right, we got another voicemail. Let's go to that.
Do you think we should get rid of Oscar Ustari?
All right, that's it. It's funny. It's the transcript. It says, "Do you think we should get rid of the?"
Thank you. Bye.
It says, "Do you think we should get rid of the Oscars?" That's the transcript. Oscar Ustari is under contract for next year. He's not going anywhere. He's under contract. Let me see. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. For is it only next year? Let me see. Ustari is, yeah, just for next year. Ustari is signed for next year. So you could get rid of him, but what's the point? What's the point of getting rid of him? He is a good backup. I don't think he should be our starter. Although, look, he's been good at times, but when he was bad, he was really bad, and he's lost his starting job. So, oh yeah, get rid of Oscars. Yeah, that's what the transcript said. Do you want to get rid of the Oscars? But he means Oscar Ustari. That's what he said in the voicemail. But in the chat, I mean, in the transcript, it said Oscars, which was funny. So yeah, I see no reason to get rid of Ustari. You're already signed him to a contract, unless you want to buy out his contract. But I don't think there's really a need to buy out his contract unless you really need the money. There's other people with bigger contracts that I would buy out. His salary, let's see, let me see if I can just bring this up. right, and let's get rid of Ed there. And let's move this over a little bit. All right, here's my spreadsheet. I keep this open all the time. I keep it as updated as I can. So as of couple months ago, his salary was $744,000. So it's not a ton of money for a player, But look, Rocco Rios Novo is a much cheaper player, but he's on loan. So we would have to decide if we're going to buy him. Oh, looks like we got the same guy called back. So let's hear what he has to say this time.
Dude, now that Rocco Rios is getting the spotlight, same person here by the way, now that Rocco Rios is getting the spotlight, do you think we should put him like more in the playoffs? Because I feel like he's been fading more because I feel like he's younger and he can still see like at least like a better vision. You see?
Okay, so it sounds like you like Rocco Rios Novo. Yeah, let's keep playing him. You play with a hot hand. He's playing. Oh yeah, see you guys enjoying my spreadsheet when I just keep the spreadsheet open. Kata saying, "Oh, wow, thought Bright was making less. Still, yeah, 250,000 or more." Yeah, Yannick Bright is only making 83,000. That's really low. But that's the 83,000 is generally draft pick money. So, that's usually your first contract in MLS. That's standard. Some of these other players made similar money as well, but they've since gotten raises. And currently, well, geez, is he the cheapest player on the squad? Yeah. Israel Boatwright makes more than Yannick Bright? The Israel Boatwright that was at the Publix pregame party to sign autographs, and very few people went to get his autograph because they just don't know who he is. He doesn't ever play. So Yannick Bright is making the least amount of money in the entire team. Wow. Pretty crazy, huh? Ricardo's saying Yannick is making a Big Mac and Pokemon card. Yeah. Yeah. Look, that's that first contract. Oh, we're getting thanks for the live update, Sergio. Philadelphia 2, Chicago 2. Nice. Yeah, if we weren't talking right now, I'd be watching that game, but we're talking. So, anyways, let's go back to my single box here. All right. Yeah, sometimes I think bring up the spreadsheet. I know sometimes I think I bore Ed when I bring up the spreadsheet, but I love looking at the spreadsheet and the numbers and looking at the contract. It's the only way I can keep track. There's a couple good websites. Most the money I'm getting is literally from the MLS Players Association. Anybody can search it. You guys can all find it too. It's MLSPA.org. So that's where you get, and they update it a few times a year. They'll update it probably at the end of the season. And, Ricardo says Bright is our most valuable player other than Messi. He is really good. I would have said, well, it doesn't matter, right? I would have said Jordi Alba was our most valuable player other than Messi. I think he has been our best player outside of Messi. But he's going to be gone, so it doesn't matter. Right? He can help this year, but he'll be gone next year. Able Gaming asks, do you think Santi Morales should get more playing time? Because I feel like he hasn't gotten enough playing time. You're all right. He has not gotten enough time. He got into a game recently. I agree with One World. I liked him as well. When I see him play, I like him. But I guess just coaches just don't see enough in practice, I guess, to give him more time. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't get time, it's not going to get better. Crazy thing, he doesn't play, and he's making more than Yannick Bright. And I'm going to guess that's because, again, draft picks, generally speaking, that 83,000 is a first contract for a draft pick. And that's like a 3-4 year deal, 3-year deal usually. And Santiago Morales was not from the MLS draft pick. He's an academy player that moved up, and I guess you pay your academy players more. That doesn't seem fair, but life's not fair. That's how I always grew up. Life's not fair. Oh, we're bringing it back to the thank you, Kata. Peacemaker 2. Did I watch it? Yes, I've seen the whole season. Loved it. I liked it. I know it didn't get the best reviews. A lot of people did not like the ending. I was okay with it. I think the biggest issue, and I'm not going to spoil it because it sounds like you haven't watched it. People didn't like the ending. Felt like it was too open, and it's very open ending, and there's no word if there's going to be a season 3. So far, there's no plans for season 3 because they're just going to roll that character into some of the movies and continue that storyline in the movies. But Ash asking us a solid question, honest question. Do you see an improvement in the league since Messi's arrival? Yes. But it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about quality of play? Because other than outside of a few teams, no. But marketing? Hell yes. People are wearing Inter Miami shirts all around the world. Inter Miami is right now MLS. They are the face. We are the face of MLS around the world. And so, yes, he's improved the business side of the league. Having said that, I did think Messi's arrival would improve the quality of play more, because what I thought it would do was that I thought it was going to force the owners to open the pocketbooks more. I thought once they saw, after at least the first year of Messi, that they would have added another designated player or increased the salary cap a lot, not incrementally, but like a nice hefty chunk of salary cap. I didn't expect them to wipe out their wacky rules altogether, but I did expect them to raise the roof, the salary, quite a bit. Did not happen. So did he improve the quality of play? I mean, the league didn't allow it. The league, now at the same time, we were able to pull a Messi type player, right? We were able to pull Messi. Other teams can do the same thing. Now there is no other Messi, but there are other good name quality players that you could sway to come here, maybe, and whatever bargaining and you think you can do. LAFC is able to do it. Sun was a catch. Now, curious, would Sun have come to MLS if it wasn't for Messi? I mean, we'll never know, I guess, unless somebody asks Sun, and I don't know if he'd be honest about it. Kata is saying Obando. I got a funny story here. Obando should have had his loan discontinued. So my daughter, since we've been talking about her a little bit, she's currently in cosmetology school. So at the cosmetology school, they have to get a certain amount of hours of working on actual clients. So all these cosmetology schools, you can go there as a woman or a man, whatever, but a lot of them, it's women, go there and get your hair cut, styled, whatever, for a cheaper price because students are working on you. So you're taking a risk, but you're getting a good deal. Obando's, my daughter did Obando's girlfriend's hair Friday morning, afternoon, something like that. I think it was afternoon. She called me right after. The girl came in there, I guess saying, "Hey, I'm dating an Inter Miami player," and my daughter knows. She's been to games. She knows I'm into it. She asked, like, what player? She mentioned, and she basically said that Obando was surprising her, taking her out for like a nice dinner or something like that. And I was like, "Huh, strange. There's a game." And obviously he's not playing, But still, quite often, even though you're injured, you're not playing, you're still in the stadium quite often. Guess he wasn't because, uh, you know, I don't know, just thought it was a small world. She did Bondo's girlfriend's hair. Uh, Kata with another good question. I meant to bring this up, but thank you, Kata, for bringing it up. Why was Garber booed? Was it for sanctions? I don't think so. I don't think it's for sanctions. I mean, it was a long time ago that we got sanctioned. I wonder that too, and I did say something in the game day vlog that hey, he's getting booed. Um, I just Don Garber across the league is not the most popular. I think most league commissioners probably are not the most popular. Um, a lot of people blame some of the constraints the league has on him, but really he's just the mouthpiece of the owners. You know, if people will blame him because we haven't opened up the salary cap, people will blame him for a bunch of different reasons. At the end of the day, he's just a mouthpiece for the owners. That's all he is. But people look at him as that face and of the owners, and yeah, they booed him. I was wondering that what did he do to us that would make our fans boo him? Because I do wonder like how many of the people at the Inter Miami Stadium are knowledgeable about Major League Soccer. I question that, right? I think a lot of the people in the stadium are there because we have Messi. I don't know how many of them even knew who that guy was, but enough did to boo him. So I guess I don't know. That's what was battling in my head. Like, why are they booing him? Do they even know who he is? But enough people did to boo him. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's so much for sanctions though, because that was a long time ago. I don't know. It's a wonder, but he's not popular. I mean, people don't. People look on. Look on. You would think other teams around the league would dislike him even more because we're calling this the Messi League soccer, right? And um, the people all think that we're getting special treatment because it's Messi and we've got Messi and stuff like that. So I don't know, but they did. They didn't like him. One more one goal says it's heavy. God, Messi fans. God, you jumped in too? You booed him too? Okay, Kata, why did you boo him then? If you booed, I did not boo him. I think he's been a good commissioner for this league. This league was in trouble when he came in, right? And so he definitely, even though he closed down my team, closed down the Miami Fusion and the Tampa Bay Mutiny, and I wasn't happy about it, it was actually obviously the right move for the league. So because the league moved on and became stronger. But I think he's been good for the league. Now, is it time for a change? Probably. It's just like a CEO of any company. Everybody knows I'm a big Disney fan. And I think Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney. He's been a very good CEO for Disney. But I think it's time for him to go. Luckily, his contract is up in 1 or 2 years. So he'll be going. I think it's next year. The end of next year, something like that. But as a CEO of a big company, you're good. Michael Eisner, former CEO of Disney, was great until he wasn't. He overstayed his welcome, started making bad decisions, became cheap, making cheap decisions on the theme parks and things like that. So the same thing with Don Garber. Maybe he's overstayed his welcome. Maybe it's time for somebody new that can maybe sway the owners. Because right now, like I said, maybe he's just he's just kind of like the mouthpiece of the owners. Maybe bring in somebody that can actually influence the owners, because that would be a good thing too. Gotta. You just wanted a reaction. You just wanted to get in the fun. You saw people booing. It sounded like it was going to be fun. You're going to jump in and just have some fun with it. All right. All right, we're going to finish up here in just a minute. We went longer than I thought. I started this off saying it's going to be a slow, short show, but you guys brought some great conversation in the chat to help me keep this thing going and have some fun with you guys. Ash Windus says, do you think if Inter Miami winning MLS this year, the whole Miami will come celebrate if there's a city parade like Heat winning in 2012? Well, it won't be as big. It's not as big of a sport in this country. But yeah, I think they'd have a parade and people will show up. People, look, again, you see Messi shirts everywhere. People like a winner too. It'll be smaller. Like maybe it's something a little more similar to what the Florida Panthers did in Fort Lauderdale. In Fort Lauderdale, I don't think it was huge, right? It wasn't a huge parade. They went down A1A, right out in front of the elbow room, all that kind of stuff. So something like that, maybe in Miami. Yeah, I think One World says it will be an epic parade. Yeah, I think they might do a good job of the parade, but will it be as big as the Heat? No, no, it won't be as big as the Heat. It's just the sport isn't as big in this country, but I think it will still be impressive. I think it will still be good. It'd be really good. Ash saying, Apple buy Disney, see what happens. I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean, another company I like. So I wouldn't be mad at that unless they change things, and then I would be pissed off. if they screwed up my theme parks, then I'd be pissed off. But as long as they don't screw that up, I'm cool. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining in and having some fun with me tonight. This was a lot of fun. I had good conversations with you guys. So really appreciate that. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't seen the game day vlog, go check it out. Especially if you didn't go to the game. If you didn't go to the game, it's like you're sitting with me and watching the game, or sitting with Ed watching the game. And whatever stupid stuff I say, it's stupid stuff I say as being a fan. So, anyways, and then also there's the construction video. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's doing pretty good. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. See you next time, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Bye.